Alrighty, guys. It is 3:30 this Wednesday, January 14th. And okay, so we're getting a little bit of strength. We're getting they did not take out the lows. We're getting a little bit of action going on the upside here. It took a while, all the way to 3 o'clock before the final hour. We're looking at some buying interest here going into the close of the day, and then we'll take that. So we're back up above the 69.50. So I would just say range bound trading at this point, going into the overnight. So if they close below that 69.50 in that range, I'm probably going to start on the short side, see if they can retest these lows. Right now, I'm thinking, okay, range bound trading going into the overnight. In other words, I would look to buy against support. I'm going to have to adjust these edges a little bit, but for sure against that 69.25, that's going to be an obvious edge. And on the short end of it, looking for short against that mode here at the 69.70s, probably around the 69.80s, rotations down again. But it looks pretty interesting. So the fact that they had a little bit of a rally going into the close like this is actually a very positive sign. I did take a trade on the Nasdaq. I'll show that in a bit, but on the Nasdaq, we're also getting a little bit of strength, not as strong as the ES. ES is showing a little bit better performance, but not quite as much as the not quite as much as well, ES is showing more strength than the Nasdaq is what I meant to say. And right now you're looking at them trying to get back up to action. They're back up to the mean at least, but not quite making a huge dent. But you'll see. Wait for them to get up above that 620s. If that happens, I would be back range bound on the Nasdaq as well. But right now, we'll see how it goes. But it looks to me like they're going to get right up here. So they close above that 620s. We're 620 to 30s. We're back range bound. Otherwise, we're going to start off on the short side and see if they can retest that low. But yeah, they took it all the way down here to the almost to the 400, so a very low level. That's kind of how far they took this. It was getting pretty gnarly there. But man, a little bit of strength going into the latter part here. A little pop and very much of a nice little pop here going into the close. So we'll take that. Now they're running right into resistance, so chasing it now is not good. Right here, running into that 620 to 30 area. So we'll see if they can take that out or not. If they do take it out, maybe try a long trade, late in the day long trade. I did try one trade on the Nasdaq that was down here. When they started stalling, they tested these upper edges of the channel. They could not take it out. It did not fall apart either. You can see prior it's been just knocking it down hard every time. This time not so much. So I tried when they started making new high on the pullback here. I got in one, repaired it once, and I figured out, okay, crap, I'm sitting here repairing a trade. Maybe I'm wrong on this. So as usual, if I'm wrong on the entry and had to repair it like that, I scratched it. I got $10 out of that trade. And you can see here that would have been a big loser because they did that little fake out rundown here before the like hard rundown before the rally started. Happens more than often on these. They fake you out on the downside, then reverse right back and get you caught on the other side as well. That's what it looks like then. But right now it looks like we're getting some continuation. So I'm watching that area, the 620 to 30s. On an ES, I'm watching the 69, 60, 65s and see if they're going to take that out. And if they come out, we'll be back on the long side for sure. Well, the ES is going to be a range band if they close about 50. I'm not going to necessarily start on the long side. I may look for early strength to get started, but 69.50 is the level I'm really keying in on. On the Nasdaq, I'm keying in on that 620 area, 620 to 30. If they can close above that, I will be back range bound. Otherwise, starting from the short side. So there you have it. So one trade on the Nasdaq, two contracts at $10. It was just pretty much a scratch. So that was it. And it's been pretty sloppy. You get these rundowns here right there when you least expect it. Like before you try to get long and suddenly they run everything out, stops, and then they just reverse it right back up again. That just gets you. But notice that it happens on a half hour. So if you remember, I keep talking about that half hour shift. It's right at that 3 o'clock. This thing kicked in. Right at the like that 3:30 is when it started the next little leg. So the half hour thing is important. Like, not quite why, but I mean, I was thinking that's kind of old school stuff. We're just keying in on those half hours still. Now on the bonds, yeah, not much going on there. They kind of they were back and forth, V tops, V bottoms, ran up, nice little rally, and then stalled. Not exactly at the 15th enough for me to want to take that trade at the 15th. 2 bars, just a bit too little. I want to see a few more bars stalled before I take that trade. And then just drifted down a little bit. That's been holding here. So again, no, a real good setup. And as I said with the bonds, you kind of had to be cautious about it. You don't want to be aggressive, you'll get caught. Now they had a potential. You can see this short here at the 08, 1, 2, 3, but this one would have been almost a fake out. And this one I kind of missed, to be honest with you. So I mean, otherwise I may have clicked in a short trade up there. This was right at the CD failure, right at the 8s. So this one here would have been a potential fake out on my end. I kind of missed the trade. I wasn't paying attention to the chart. But if I were looking at it attentively, this one here could have been a 1, 2, 3 bars, get short. Now it starts ticking up, and then you can see I traded down on that 5th bar. At least you have a shot at scratching it. So, and that's kind of what you have to do. If it ticks up like that when you're in that trade, you don't want it. You don't want it anymore. If you don't take it on that first tick, you'll see you did not get another chance to get out of that trade. So that's how fast it goes on the bond. You get one chance to get out, and then pretty much if they're nice about it. But that's kind of how it goes. I mean, if they're going to take it higher, you're not going to see a rotations like you see on the Nasdaq and stuff to get you back in again. All right, back to the Nasdaq and ES. Okay, so up. Watch that resistance knocked it down the first time. Let's see if they can get some strength out of this. But let's see how they close. So anyway, news for tomorrow though. Before I wrap it up here, we get at 8:30 tomorrow jobless claims. They have another retail sales number looking out there. I don't know what that is for. Philly Fed, Empire State, import export prices coming out at 8:30. Business inventories at 10, and that's about it. So not a whole lot of stuff coming out, but at 8:30 we have some news coming out. And I don't know why there's a second retail number listed there, but we'll see. Alrighty, guys, we'll leave it there. I'll see you back bright and early in the morning. You guys have a good evening. Later.